Hello, and welcome. So my presentation, as Kirill already said, is dark side of doing something, or in this case, IT later. First question you no doubt have is, how does this work? No. Yes. Good. So who am I and who we are? I work as a part of international team of security experts who cover European Union and other countries within EMEA region. I would say that we have years of experience doing this. My teammates have upwards of, for example, 20 years of doing malware reverse engineering. So they know a lot, they have a lot of experience, and they can help you a lot in case you need that. All of us have some kind of background from law enforcement, from military, from academics, and we also are certified in various areas which we feel are very important for our customers. Now let's go over what we will be actually talking about. Very simply put, if you lack in security measures, you will arrive at some kind of loss. As usually today, that is with terms and conditions. In this particular case, it could be loss of profit, loss of trust from your customers, loss in market share, loss of valuable data you have. So you could put anything there, but I will speak about some of those losses that we have seen our clients arrive to. And my agenda today will be different ways how you can arrive at such a loss. We will talk about it, and then you will have some opportunity to ask some questions. And of course, because we are services and solutions company, we can help, and I will speak about how can we help. I think this picture very nicely sums up general theme you will feel through my presentation, that somebody inside or outside of your organization is cause of that loss. You may have best firewall, you may have best data storage protection, you may have best backup policies, but if somebody did not do something, you will lose. First, and I think most impacting story is about when you don't even know that you already have lost something. Imagine thing, you are large international defense contractor. In case you don't know, that's those guys who sell tanks, who sell missiles, who sell planes to military and to governments around the world. So one day they are contacted by FBI who tell them, guys, you have a problem. We think you are leaking data. And they don't even know about that. They've been just told by FBI. They contacted us and asked us to investigate, and we very quickly arrived to the conclusion that it is an APT attack. APT, or advanced persistent threat, usually is something that is very, very targeted at specific customer. It's very tailored, and usually guys who attack you know very, very well how you work, how you are organized, what kind of protection measures you have, and usually they know even better what you don't have. These particular guys had complete control over the environment for this customer, and by complete I mean, imagine you schedule a meeting using your favorite email solution in company. You arrive at conference hall, and in this conference hall you of course have teleconference capabilities. So bad guys at this time, using their backdoor, go into your environment, turn on the cameras, turn on the microphones, and just participate. So I think that's quite scary. And reason for this was very, very simple. This particular customer, due to policies and whatnot, decided that they will have no SSL monitoring. So every piece of data that was sent over SSL encrypted connections were not monitored. And bad guys knew that, and they exploited it. You may be wondering what is the point of the ducks in the picture. Usually with APTs, it's very hard to attribute attack to any particular organization or country or whatnot. But let's say that we had very strong suspicion that connections were coming from China. So it looked like China, it sounded like China, but is it China? We are not completely sure. So it looks like a duck, but it may not be a duck. Next one is from Case. Imagine you listen about my previous story and you decide, okay, I will do something. So you roll out about mobile device management in your country, in your company to protect it. You have agent on all your devices. All your devices are protected and you feel good. Then one morning you wake up and all your devices are wiped. They don't work anymore. They're off. Investigation yielded the fact that MDM was used to wipe those devices. And just to be sure, person who did that rolled back the MDM server to the state where it does not store any data anymore. It's like out of the factory experience. You don't have any logs on it, everything is erased, everything is back to default. In the end, it was, we have some visitors. It was discovered that it was disgruntled ex-employee of the company, and it was possible because passwords were not reset. So he used his existing access to do that. Sometimes companies try to be proactive and they try to do something to prevent this from happening. So for example, they do penetration tests on their infrastructure and on their applications. Then they go a step further and they want to test what usually is the weakest link. They want to test the employees. In that case, we do what is called social engineering test, where we try to get some data out of those employees and maybe we will succeed in some way or form. A point to note is that in this particular example, we had a customer who did regular employee education on security measures, on security policies, and how to not be socially engineered. However, we succeeded. We got email sent to Chief Financial Officer who clicked on a link, went to what looked like a banking page, entered his credentials, and we gained access to company's account, which had about 10 million pounds in it. So I would say it was a nice day in case we were the bad guys. I have no doubts that you all know what is CryptoLocker, CryptoWall, or any kind of ransomware. We had a client which was an international bank, and again, one morning they arrived at the fact that about 500,000 of their important banking files are encrypted and are not accessible anymore. Of course, they had backups, but restoring 500,000 files takes some time, and if you are a bank and you want to do right by your customers, it impacts you in a way, and you lost some credibility. Reason why it got in is not because they did not have firewalls or antiviruses or whatnot, but because it was unknown variant at the time, and person who received it in the bank thought that, well, it looks like a legitimate Word document, let me open it. You know what follows. Your documents are gone, please pay us money, and maybe you will get them back. Maybe. I like this story a lot because it has a twist in it. Sometimes when you are a manufacturing company, you decide that you will have a separate web page for each country where you operate in. And one day, one of those pages in some language got defaced. Well, it is inconvenient in sort of ways, but it's nothing critical immediately. And it's sort of makes sense. Okay, you got defaced, you fix it, that's it. You patch your WebDAV configuration, you update it, you should be okay. But there's more. In this case, we dug through the evidence we had, and it looked like somebody already had hacked them, and they had no idea about that. And imagine you have this person living in your environment for about 2 or 3 months, gathering data, planting some things in your environment, and in the end they had complete knowledge on how your environment operates. They had complete control over your Active Directory, and they basically can do whatever they want. And that is a sad day when you have to say, thank you for defacing my web page, so I now know that I was hacked before. Do you have any questions?
Okay, thanks a lot to Mārtiņš for his presentation here. So we heard a couple of stories. As far as I understand, they're from business use, right? Real stories. Do we have any questions either in the audience or online? I remind you that the hashtag is DSSITSec 2015. If you want to ask any question to Mārtiņš.
If you don't have questions, but you maybe have some kind of incident you may want our help with, then here are the telephone numbers you can reach us, and we will try and help you.
I do have one question, if I may, but I'm not sure if you're going to give us the answer here. So some of the cases you described were quite extreme. For example, MDM wipe that you mentioned, and everything was gone from the servers. How did you manage to do this? How did you find the guy or the girl?
We provided all our findings to the customer, and from what we found and from what kind of evidence we gave to the customer can use that to run his own investigation and get law enforcement involved and help them that way. It's a tremendous help if they already know what happened in the digital world before they go to the police and present the case to them. So we did not arrive that this particular person did it, but we gave them strong suggestion in the way how it happened.
Okay, great. So you did find something there.
Of course.
Are there... Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Hello. So the question is, what then, when you go to the customer and say that he has been completely owned, what are the further steps? Because in a realistic scenario, I mean, there is fairly low chance how you can recover fully from that. I mean, if the attacker was there for years and years, you have to burn down everything and start from scratch.
Starting from scratch, of course, is a very good idea, and I think IBM sales guys will be very happy to help you in that case. But usually we try to go one step before burning everything down, and we try and give you quite detailed suggestions on what could you do to lower chances of that happening again. And I'm saying lower chances because you will get hacked eventually. It may not happen tomorrow, but it will happen in some time.
Okay, are there any more questions? Because we still have some time. In case you can't think of a question now, you can always find Mārtiņš later on. I hope he's going to stay for lunch at least.
Yes.
And the next event is lunch actually. So thanks again, Mārtiņš, for your great presentation.
Thank you.